I'm just making sure it's recording. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Coach K, and welcome to our first video. So today, I just want to give you a heads up on some things that when you come for your first week of Pilates classes, you will have sort of a preview, I guess you'd say, of some of the concepts. And then it will make it a little bit more enjoyable for you, and we could probably move a little bit faster. So the first thing I wanted to talk about were just the Pilates concepts real quick. There are a lot of them, but mainly I would say that one of the main concepts is just concentration. Pilates is something that you need to concentrate fully on everything you're doing when you're doing it. If you don't, you could possibly injure yourself or something like that, or you just won't be getting the full benefit of what you're trying to achieve. The second thing, a concept, is control. So as you're concentrating, you're trying to control the parts of your body that need to be controlled in order to execute whatever it is that we're doing. And when you practice Pilates over and over again and repeat things over and over again, your control gets so much better, so that you don't have to think about those things anymore. You'll be moving on to thinking about more advanced concepts. The next concept in Pilates is the interdependence of one body part to another. Super important. I mean, it's almost like I could say each one of these concepts is the most important concept, but it's almost endless. But mainly that if you realize that your powerhouse or your core, when I say core, I mean not the arms and not the legs, but everything but the arms and the legs and the head. So if this is the hub of the wheel, and one arm is a spoke, another arm is a spoke, and each leg is a spoke, they're all radiating out from the spinal column, which is the hub, okay? And we want to make sure that our powerhouse in here is extremely strong and competent, I guess you would say, in order to absorb everything that life throws at us physically. So the interdependence on one part of the body to another part of the body is super, super big. You'll be learning endurance. Most of it is muscular type of endurance, static endurance, holding poses, static use of your muscles, engaging one muscle specifically at a time. Breathing is one of the biggest concepts in Pilates, seriously. You're supposed to find a rhythm that works for you. However, I would like to encourage you to be inhaling when you're preparing to do something harder, and then exhale as you engage that move. Okay. We'll talk about that as time goes on, why I think that, but I think it's pretty common. Another concept is purpose, and so we want to do everything with purpose. So every time you go to class, you don't have to be, the queen of every move, or being able to hold your teaser for 3 minutes straight. It's not always going to work like that. Some days a certain move is just not going to be there for you. But if you have a purpose, maybe your purpose is just checking off your list for the day. We've all been there. Another purpose might be, I really want to work on my posture today. I really want to work on my roll up today, or I'm going to try to get a hint or two today from the teacher to help me get my roll up a little bit better. Um, have a purpose. And like I said, it doesn't have to be intense. It could just be, hey, I showed up today. You know, trust me, that's a good purpose right there. All right. If you do these things, you will find that you are making progress. You can't help but progress. I started this 3 years ago. And basically, my situation was that I was an endurance athlete for a long, long time, professionally, triathlon and also running. And I could still run 3 years ago. I could still swim. I could still do things. However, things were starting to ache. Things such as my back and my knees and my neck and all of that. And I realized that just being able to do the endurance is not enough. That the hub, I now realize, didn't realize it at the time, my hub was not being worked on. It's like it was made of cheap plastic or something, and I was letting it crack. But I was still expecting all my spokes and extremities to perform. But my hub was cracking. That's the way I imagine it. So the integrity was not there. I needed to strengthen everything up so that I could become almost whole again and try to make my body work the way it's supposed to work, which is one of the main reasons Joseph Pilates said that he started teaching people these concepts, because he thought that people were getting very sedentary, and this is the early 1900s, very sedentary, and sitting a lot more, and we were basically, he felt like people were wasting away and not using their body the way it was intended to be used. So he realized people, especially dancers he was working with in New York, but you know, even just the average person needed to start using these muscles again as they started to atrophy with a more sedentary lifestyle. But that's history, which I would love to teach, but that's not what I'm doing right now, am I? All right. With your progress, you will achieve a new level of fluidity so that you won't have to concentrate on everything so much. It might seem overwhelming at first. Remember my first Pilates class, I came out of class and I thought I was on some other planet, you know, like I was so opened up and so like, wow, what just happened? And I remember feeling so overwhelmed, but kind of in a good way, and had not felt quite like that before through my other sports I had competed in. Felt good, you know, and everything, but I never felt quite like that. It felt like things were flowing where they were supposed to be flowing, and I definitely accessed muscles that I needed to access, and I had no idea were supposed to be working, especially in these ways. So the last thing I just want to say here before we get started with our pre-Pilates basics is that there really is no finish line, unlike my past sports. You know, there's really no finish line with Pilates, which is almost kind of a relief. We just keep learning, keep getting better at things. There's things that I can do now I couldn't even begin to do when I first started. And I mean that literally. So I'm a case in point. Flexibility was gone, my core was gone, you name it, it was gone. On the outside, I still looked athletic. On the inside, the hub was cracking. Okay, so basically, we're going to start today. We're going to be laying on our backs, which is called supine, laying on your back. And we're going to just talk simply about the spine as we're laying down, and how the spine is to be lined up properly. Pilates all flows from the middle outward, okay, or the midline, So from the top of your head to the bottom of your pubic bone is the midline, and everything radiates out from it. Okay? All right, so we're laying on our backs, and I'm going to try to get this camera a little bit better so that you have a better view of my fabulous backyard here. Like I said, you are my first video, so really don't have the whole camera situation set up very well. Okay, so I'll be back. Hi there. It looks like I'm on my own camera and I don't even know it. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, so we're on our mat and we are going to lay down. I hope you can hear me. We're going to talk about breathing, but first let's talk about the spine. Okay. So we're laying here. Our palms are pressing down into the mat. Our feet are relaxed. I want you to think about your pubic region, and I want you to feel that curve in your lower spine. Okay, we refer to that in Pilates as a little mouse house because it's very hard to get your entire spine onto the floor, touching the floor because of that little curve in our spine, our sacral area. So I want you to take your pubic bone and I want you to curl it up towards the sky. In Pilates, we like to say towards your belly button. And then relax. As you're relaxing, we call that neutral spine. It's just neutral. You don't have to do anything. When you curl your pubic bone, you do, however, have to engage muscles to do that. The mouse house slightly disappears, and relax. And one more tilt of the pubic bone up, back towards your belly button. And relax. Okay, good. Let's bring our knees up. I'm sure I could find a better angle, but again, I don't really know what I'm doing with this Zoom situation. All right, so I'm going to make sure that what I want you to do is I want you to Kegel, okay? So find the muscle that you squeeze so that you go potty and you either can't go or you can't get to a bathroom, you have to hold it in. So if you've had a baby, we all know about Kegels. But even if you haven't, we've all held in urine. So I want you to squeeze that muscle, okay, and let it go. And squeeze that muscle and let it go. Now I want you to add your gluteal muscles or your rear end, your buns, and I want you to squeeze them with it. Ready? And everything together. And squeeze and let it go. One more time. And squeeze and hold it. 2, all the way to 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, good. Let it go. Okay, we're going to talk about breathing now. All right, so we're going to inhale. As we inhale, we're going to put our hands on the sides of our ribs here. And I would like you to inhale, and I want you to feel your ribs expand. And as you exhale, very slowly, I want you to end it in a pubic curl. Ready? And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. sure to curl at the end and hold it. Inhale. And exhale and curl up. Hold it. Push that mouse house down against the ground. When it's flat, it's called imprint. Like you're imprinting into the ground. And relax. Okay, good. Now, ideally, you're flooding your system with oxygen every time you inhale, obviously. Because, of course, your muscles operate on oxygen. Without it, they don't work. So we want to make sure that we take really good inhales. But in order to get a good inhale, you need to have a really good exhale. And also in Pilates, the exhale is where you do the work. Okay? So if we were going to do, say, leg drops, we would inhale, and on the exhale, we would bring our leg up. That's supposedly the harder part. Inhale, and put the leg back down. Okay. Doing leg drops, but I'm just saying that you can see that if you exhale, you're ready to do the work. If you're inhaling, you're too busy inhaling. Okay. Cool. All right, so we're going to move on, and let's get the next thing going. Let me crawl on over to my fabulous computer and push pause because I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about today is the back. Okay, a huge area, and of course is 50% of our powerhouse or our hub. Super important. I couldn't even explain how important it is. All right, so in Pilates, we use the back and the scapular region or your shoulder blades, okay? The latissimus dorsi or your lats back here, muscles, use a lot in swimming, in order to provide stability and strength for moves that we're doing. Really important and an often neglected area, especially with women. All right, so we need to talk about the back because we talked about the core and the front here with the pubic, using the engagement of the pubic bone and feeling everything tighten up when we do that. What's going on in the back? Okay, so I did allude to something I said at the very beginning of what we're doing. I said, place your hands down on the mat with your palms down on the mat. Okay. And so what I want you to do is do that again. And I want you to push your palms down into the mat. And I want you to say, wow, I really feel, hopefully, first of all, let's push our palms down into the mat. Try to take your shoulders out. Press the palms into your mat. You can also engage your pubic bone. Rotate that up a little bit. Because of course we want parts of our body to be working properly together. Pushing down into that mat. If you hold it for a while, it's not very easy. Start to feel your triceps. I feel my lats back there. I definitely feel my abs. I feel my rear end a little bit. And relax. Okay, now we're going to take those palms and we're going to put them down like a toy soldier and press them, put them on the outsides of our hips. And we're going to, when I say we're going to inhale to prepare, and when we exhale, we're going to press those into our hips and feel the shoulder girdle engagement again in a different way. So let's take a big inhale. Inhale to prepare. And Exhale. Press those palms into the hips. Hold it. You can really, really feel those muscles under your arms engaging. In fact, I can feel my whole upper back engaging. Is your pubic bone rotated towards your belly button? And relax. Okay, so those are just some things I want to go over before we have our first class, because they're not super exciting things as far as the moves that we're doing. It's not like we're, doing some awesome exercise. Like, wow, what a great workout. Pilates is, it's not the kind of workout where your heart's going to be beating 1,000, beats per minute. Although when you progress into some of the classical repertoire, it is definitely going to give you some very unique endurance and some stamina. You're going to amaze yourself, I'm sure. But these things all are building blocks, and they have to be done first, because if you try to muscle your way through any of the upcoming moves in Pilates, you will pull a small muscle in your abdomen, you will mess up a hip, you will hurt your neck, all of that stuff. So we have to get all the lining up things going on first, and then we can proceed. So that's about it for now. Thanks for watching. We're going to do, a whole series of pre-Pilates when you come for your first class, and then I'm going to send you a video of those things to practice one time in between that and the next class. So that I said you have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. So it becomes something you don't have to think about as much. And then you'll be ready for the next thing, something more complicated, bigger and better. And it's going to make you less achy breaky. It's going to ultimately, might make you achy, but ultimately make your, kind of help you become more in control of your body, and less dependent on Advil, less dependent on, other things that are artificial. Take control of your movement, I guess you'd say. It definitely will increase your posture. It's increased my posture, improved it a lot. I was into the whole slumping situation, so I'm sure y'all slump. The slumping society. So anyways, that's it for today. If you want to go back over it, like I said, I know it's not super exciting yet, but it will get there. And I'll see you at your appointment. Thanks.